Hi everyone, this is a quick tutorial on how to work chain stitches. To begin, you'll need to have your yarn in your left hand and a hook in your right hand. And we'll start out with a slip knot on your hook. So I'm going to just quickly make a slip knot by putting my two fingers through, rotating them over, and pulling the yarn through. And just pull that tail tight so that the slip knot is nice and snug on your hook and it won't slip off too easily. To begin with the working chain stitches, you're going to hold the yarn in your left hand or your non-dominant hand and make sure that you use your thumb and third finger to hold the knot or your work later on with your left hand as well. This will help you make sure that you maintain tension in your non-dominant hand, which is holding the yarn, which is really important to helping you work even and nice, neat crochet chain stitches. So once you've got the yarn in your left hand and you're holding the knot with your thumb and middle finger, you're going to move the hook from left to right under your yarn in your left hand. So I'm going to move the hook left to right under the yarn, which, as you can see, forms this little loop of yarn that's going over your hook. This is called a yarn over because the yarn is going over the hook. Then I'm going to pull the yarn towards the slip knot and tilt the hook so that the hook tip is pointing down towards the knot. So I'm pointing it down so that it slips right into the loop. So that was just one chain stitch. So I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to move the crochet hook left to right under the working yarn, which forms a yarn over right here. And then I'm going to gently pull the yarn towards the loop. And if you find you're unable to pull it through like this, try both turning the tip downwards towards the loop, towards the knot, and also towards your work, so that it slips right into that little nook right there. And you can also pull this loop bigger just by pulling it bigger or smaller and giving yourself more space to go through. If you give yourself a lot more space, like if after I pull through I make my loop bigger, your chains will be a lot bigger, but it's a good way to practice when you're first getting the hang of it before making them so small. So as you can see right now, I'm pulling each chain really big so that it's super easy to get my hook through. And these are obviously pretty huge chains, but it gives you a sense of how the stitch works, and most importantly, it gives you a chance to practice. But usually I like, when I'm making tighter chains, to use the trick of angling my hook downward so it fits into the bottom of that teardrop shape formed by the last loop. So once you've made a bunch of chains, you can pretty much make this chain as long as you want it to, as long as you want it to be, and it usually determines the length of how wide your work is going to be. But you can just keep doing this forever, and there you have it. If you ever want to end your chain and just finish off, you would just cut the yarn over here anywhere and then just pull it through with your right hand, and then it won't come apart anymore. But as it is right now, if you take your hook out anytime, you can always just pull it out and to as short as you want it to be, and you just if you want to restart, you can just find any loop anywhere and just put your hook back into it and keep working. So there you have it. I hope this video is helpful, and happy crocheting!